Oh, where you watch? Look where you watch. Know where you watch. Choose the right thing to watch. And this enough to watch. Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan, Facebook and YouTube. And that enough to watch. The movie star fly take off from Palpatine TV said that. Boom!
A big sound, a play a big tune.
Ja holy Emmanuel I woy. Ja Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I see, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know war, not every...
Blow, Mr. Gargan, blow! Blow till me dance up me toe!
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at that.
Nobody can tell me nothing. I'm not real about it, but I ask you some question. Are the JLP fund it? For some benefit from you. And at that you do now, you're getting a benefit. So you are the mouthpiece now. You're part of the mouthpiece, right? You're part of the mouthpiece.
I personally felt that him shouldn't go because you have a passport and you have some kind of loyalties.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate on that.
But would you be able to understand the concerns?
I believe in the rule of law.
Deliver me from my enemy, my God. Set me an eye from those who rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity. Save me from the bloodthirsty men. For behold, they lie and wait for my soul. The mighty gather themselves together against me, not for my disobedience, not for my sin, Lord. I have done no wrong, yet they are ready to attack me. Rise up, behold, and help me. You, Lord God of armor, the God of Israel, rouse yourself to punish the nation. Show no mercy to the wicked, traitor, sealer. They return at evening, howling like dogs, and prowl around the city. Behold, they spat with their mouth, so they are in their lips, for they say, Who art us? But you, Lord, laugh at them, you scoff of all the nation. O my strength, I wish for you, for God is my high tower. My God will go before me with his loving kindness. God will let me look at my enemy in triumph. Don't kill them, or my people may forget. Scatter them by their power, and bring them down, Lord, our shield. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them be catched in their pride. For the curses and lie which they utter, consume them in wrath, consume them, and they will be no more. Let them know that God rules in Jacob to the ends of the earth. Selah. At evening let them return, let them howl like a dog, and go around the city. They shall wander up and down for food, and wait all night, if they ain't satisfied. But I will sing of your strength, yes, I will sing aloud of your loving kindness in the morning. For you have been my high tower, a refuge in the day of my distress. To you, my strength, I will sing praises, for God is my high tower, the God of my mercy, Selah. Up and running, up and gunning, Sticky Stucky Sweet TV, Keith Gargan, cassava, mind over matter, up and running. Yeah, man, right about now. Anyway, there's some question to ask Keren Cross, because boy, Mr. Sham move away, and me don't know what go on. Really, as I said, me do a video last time and say, well then, she changed from orange to green. She's very green, like a green lizard. And, you know, I don't know what go on. But anyway, first question I'm going to ask you, Keren Cross. Because, I don't know. Do the labor right have anything to do with your allegation you carry against Dayton Campbell as a pedophile? Say I do this with young girl and blah blah. Because as far as me said it reach the court and them throw it out. Because you never have no evidence. You never have no evidence, you know, and you can't just because somebody is innocent till them proven guilty. And we can't say the court system will work at Jamaica, but it work in a lot of ways. I see it work in some way. So to be truthful, depends on, you know what I mean, because in the end of the day, you carry somebody a quote about that, and it's just like more talk. Just like what I see you doing right now. With Mark Golden, just more talk and bitterness, ignorance, and all these things. And next thing again, I want to ask you, because remember, you know, you lose the case against Dayton Campbell, and they find the $750,000. You set up a GoFundMe. If the GoFundMe never take off, because you're not getting... So, you know what I mean? So you say you never raise the money too tough on the GoFundMe. And nobody never really know it too tough on social media, you know. They say not going to take off. So we know that. So it's going to take off $750,000. So, we want to know now, if it's a JLP P8, the Labour Party paid for you, for some benefit, and this is a benefit that you are doing now for them to get more dark up on the PMP and Mark Golden. Because in the end of the day, you don't stop, and you never stop, and you come up with some evidence right now. Well, not evidence, you come up with some allegation without no evidence, right? And I don't understand that. And you say Ray Taylor, all this allegation and things like that. And you don't show no receipt. And the thing is this, you know, again, you still lose the case against the brother Dayton. And you still call him a pedophile. But the reason why I check say, well then, him not really, but if you carry go court again, because them know what go on and they know, so you broke as shit. Or you could say broke as dog. So they nobody really bother with you because they get the better of you already. And that is the same thing goes out for Mark Golden as well. Because say, well then, you don't have no evidence, you know, you say the man was born at Jamaica and born at England. And to me, that is an allegation, and that is a libel for us, I think you're dealing right. So because for me, but then again, if you don't have no money, then I go bother with you and look on you, you know. Just make you go and talk. I just saw me see it. Because in the end of the day, you say something again, in your blog, say, well then, there's no information private again. How can you dare say that? That is the law. You can't go into people private information without you get authority. And you know, so that is a prison works. So that woman like you are going like you're bright and things like that, and you talk about there's nothing private again. And like what Daryl Valls do, him free to do it. So that's why I say really, you turn from one time a good PNP activist, and because some kick you out of the party, and you have all these Rate and Lele, you go around and make trouble and Rate, and now you fall right into the JLP, wicked JLP and of them you work for. Nobody can tell me nothing. Because when I look on your page, I pay JLP over their comment. So you work for them. Just like Vegas, one of the same type of people, you know. Believe you me, you know. And that I say I do. Because in the end of the day, you're talking things and you're talking a lot of shit and worries. And you know, you're going to stay there and go on and talk about this is the beginning. Beginning of what? Because what you are trying to do, what you say is Daryl Valls give them information if you read out, talk about him born in England, and his grandfather come from Cuba, and his mother never born here, and him Rate and Lele. Oh, you have all this information, and you still can't show it. Mine, you know, false alarm, can't go far away. I mean, I say, well, then, the reason why these people come out on you, you know, dry shit in your body, if you know what I mean, because them know how it go with you. You have to set up a GoFundMe to raise that $750 to pay. I never work out, the GoFundMe never go nowhere. So I think, and I truly believe, it's a JLP paid up for you for a benefit. Just like Vegas, him come out and him defend the JLP because him getting benefit and have to come say something. So all of that are go on with you. So you turn from orange to green. You know, better than Venetia Phillips, and the whole of them are the same old dirty basket, believe you me. Because in the end of the day, you is telling just dump on Margol and you can't find nothing on him. And I call what him do is corruption. It might be corruption in a certain way, yes, but not even the not about half, not even the quarter. And not even quarter neither. There's nothing around him to talk about ripping off Jamaica people and doing that. So all we talk is fuckery. Believe you me. Him do something else. I mean, I know you talk about what him do about passport and all this shit, because what you talk is just mystery you deal with, because you're angry, you're bitter, you're cross. Just like how you name Keren cross, you double cross. And that's all I see. So I mean, I understand where your argument come from. And talk about corruption and it's corruption and rate and lily. Where you can't show the corruption where this brother do. You tell me now. You can't see the corruption that Andrew Wallace doing. Remember, you know, him doing declare him fucking taxes, you know, the 4 years, you know. And you're happy with that. Him have 6 teeth, including him, in the Labour Party. When I want really him said I name them, I table the rascal thing, let people know who is who. Him try to put a gag order upon him MP them. That could never happen in Britain, in England. That would never happen. I don't think it will happen in Mark Golden. Because you can't see that. But you don't have nothing good to say. And you just keep on making mischief. And that's what you see I do, you know. I don't really look pretty. And you feel like so well then. Because you just have beat up yourself and beat up yourself. And you have beat up yourself and beat up yourself. Because all we are talking say. Because you say Mark Golden never win the local election. I never do nothing. But I tell you, that woman are really bitter and cross, you know. Believe you me. You know, but that style, you know, really horrible way, you know. Because I talk and I ask these questions. Who funding your little blog? Because them see well then they can come over to you. So I mean how much you get paid if you do what you do, you know. So we are going, because where you go directly at the opposition leader. So you do the dirty work then for the JLP. But it's not going nowhere. It's just a little faction of a little handful of faction you reach, believe you me. And the people that on your page are big you up on the top, but they are the little diet to liberate them. So them support they not going nowhere. They can't stop the movement. I don't think they can stop the movement. Believe you me. So in the end of the day, well, I want to go shame like a dog. To be truthful, because I say I cannot see right through you where you go from a longer time. Now you get the strength from the JLP purse and you come out like you think you come out wicked. But you don't come out wicked, you come out foolishly. And you go turn upon the whole of you. Yeah, they go turn upon the whole of you. Because Mark Golden I get the support from the people now. There's an advice, you know, me have a video come out. So I have to tell Mark Golden to just change his image. And him can change his image. Change his image. With him beard him up on the face. And make him be a new Mark Golden. And turn up the thing for you know. And that will cause that him to do, you know. And well, you know, I was listening really, go listen negative. Because I pay negativity to your talk, you know. Believe you me. Because you don't show no evidence. Because you say, you know, if you even come show a Jamaican birth certificate, you still don't believe. So what more can the brother do? You're an evil little cross man, you know. Me I tell you, you know. Yeah, man. Evil little cross man. And everything where you talk don't make sense. Because as I'm saying before, you know, in the days, me used to respect you as a PMP activist, you know, because everybody would know about Keren Cross as an activist on the PMP side. And one time we beat Labour, and I beat Labour. Now, you know, prefer Andrew Wallace win instead of Mark Golden for the PMP. So you're an evil, evil little woman. You're an evil little woman. You're a Jezebel. You're a parasite. And, you know, that's why I'm going to just leave it from that. Because I don't really want to beat it toward, you know. I'm going to show you, well, then, that's the category you fit in, really. Because I don't see the need. And you can't win. Dear man, Dayton can't be win you. With your allegation, you carry a court and him win you. Put it on your seat, if you find $750, $50, you couldn't find it. You set up GoFundMe. It not going nowhere. So, nobody can tell me nothing. I'm not real about it, but I ask you some question. And the JLP fund it for some benefit from you. And at that you do now, you're getting a benefit. So you are the mouthpiece now. You're part of the mouthpiece, right? You're part of the mouthpiece. And all you talk and talk. You're part of the mouthpiece. It don't make sense. And you have to cool down your temper. Mine because you set up your blood pressure. When Mr. Margolin easy and I do him thing, and the people that really come out for him, and the poll I show that too, although you go as far as say, well, then I buy them by the poll from that. That woman are really cross and evil, you know. Everything you see, them buy the poll, pay a lot of money for buy the poll. Whenever you say Dan is them things, the man always legit and do them things from a longer time. Because Dan and the poll always legit. Yeah. You are come try if you put some chain on the man things now. Just because the labor right and the angriness you have for PMP. Right? Your angriness, because look, even Lisa Anna, not angry like you, you know. She's still a part of the Anna do that things, you know. So, you know, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're out just a woman alone, stand alone, believe you me. And all you say and go on. You please the JLP them. Because people are burning out bad. And you can't, you know about you, but you're not ashamed anyway. Because once we get the money, we just do the dirty deed and don't care. I say on a labor right slave. Because it's a labor right now. You have a labor right mind, just like Venetius Phillips. We're all on the same bag of garbage, believe you me. And we can't put it no better than that. Because what you are trying to do, it not going to help you. It going to make you feel small in the end. Just give it time, the clock a tick down, you know. And you're going to see what go on. And then, you're going to see where you're going to anyway, you're going to leave it at that. Because, boy, your stand where you take right now, it's an evil, make no sense. And you have to cool down. Because remember your blood pressure and your heart and everything. And things will do this and you get to you because Neil what you talk and go on. Because what you talk about don't make no sense. Because, you're not talking about Siaga where it born of America and come be Prime Minister of Jamaica. All them things there. There's so much shitting over the Labour Party, you're not saying nothing about that. You're comfortable with that now. But the party where you used to be a part of, you can't stand it no more. Through one man or two man. It don't make no sense. If everybody was like you, the PMP party will mash up. It will be, but we're going to see and watch and see what go on. Because in the end of the day, people like Uno people have to park on once and for all, And that's why I put in my 2 cents in this, Because I see you as a danger to society. Not Margolin, you. But then again, you don't have no power. You're a little blogging station, but if you're a blogger and you get a food off it, try eat a food off it and do your shit. And that's all it is. And whatever the JLP I give you, I'm not saying if you take it, man. Because you don't have no more other source. That's all it is. Time catch up on you. You never make it in the PMP. You're activist and look what people come after you and come be an MP. So what you was doing? Because you was a dark lady. That's why you never reached to be a MP. You know what I mean? And if you look on that, So now you're angry with everybody. It's not nobody make you be an MP lady. It's not nobody, because people just come up from nowhere and get a seat and then run it and then win and things like that. So you was an activist. Portia Sims was an activist. Because remember, you know, I tell you, you don't feel like say you know about politics more than me. Me and Portia used to live in the same yard as a little youth. And 9 Freeman Lane, Maxwell Avenue, Fitzgerald Avenue. Facts, right? So I know when she was an activist before she be a MP. I run for the constituency in Maxwell Avenue, Whitfield Town. So you can't tell me nothing. And she end up to be a prime minister. So you go sit down, Keren Cross, because you're too bitter and cross. That's all I have to say. But anyway, people, we just want to make an hear what this woman here say and see the angriness in her, the bitterness in her, the crossness, and double crossness in her, and the crossness from her. And just hear what she say for this little thing here. And then we're going to play this video with Mark Golding when he explain himself. And another speak sense out of nonsense. And see if she has anything where we call it, what she has said. So we have played 2 videos. We have played her first, then we play the Mark Golding video first. Interview him though. And clear himself. And see who should of these people make sense people. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, no further ado. Here goes. Boom.
Which is why it reached the Congress and almost became an impeachment until he resigned before the impeachment. The more he spoke about it, the more he tried to cover it up, is the deeper he digged himself in a deep, deep hole. And ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be a repeat performance going on here with Mark Jefferson Golding. And let me say something from the outset. Every British, every Jamaican, and every person that comes from that lives in the Commonwealth have a right, legally, yes, to offer themselves to serve in their country's political system. It is true. It is true. All the MPs them, senators them, anybody who have British passport or was born in Britain, and I don't know what went wrong with Shane Alexis because he was born in Canada and Canada is a part of the Commonwealth, but feel thing well AY because there was nobody to mechanize and defend him. I personally felt that him shouldn't go because you have a passport and you have some kind of loyalties. It's not about whether Mark Golding have the right or it's in our constitution and it's legal because he is a British citizen, he has a British passport, and it is legal for him to have that passport and offer himself as a parliamentarian. It is not about that. It's way past that. Because everything that Mark Golding has done, everything since 2007 is illegal. So it's legal for him to have the passport, illegal for him to offer himself, but every single thing that he has done since 2007 is illegal. But I want to take you back, because even in his private life, it is illegal. Because he can't seem to get his story straight about him and Sandra. So that's one. The second thing is that the enormous steps that he has taken to protect his British citizenship. So let me put it out there and start this thing now. Mark Golding was born in the United Kingdom. Now he come out and I do all for confessions. He must confess, and as is the nature of a cover-up and a lie, the confessions come in small doses. One confession come in the hopes of putting a band-aid on the excitement, and then you leave the other confessions until later on. So if you want to leave that one till later on, fine. But not even if Mark Golding could present a Jamaican birth certificate, would I, Karen Cecilia, believe that he was born anywhere else other than in Great Britain. So for him to say that he inherited his citizenship through his father, I believe, again, it is a lie. Mark Golding was born in Britain. Mark Golding made a lot of statements over the last couple of years since we start hammering down. And let me just scroll up to my notes and go to some of the statements that he has made. He said that his mother was born in Jamaica. His mother is not born in Jamaica. His mother was born in England, in Scarborough, in England, in 1931. He said that his grandfather was born in Cambridge, St. James, Logan Rhodes Levy, Algoria. He said his grandfather was born in Cambridge, got down to Montego Bay, had this big meeting, met this big statement, and the false bottom girl and the Bart breast girl, they better walk around. Current leader, grandfather was born a stone's throw away. Lie. Lie, lie, lie. His grandfather, Logan Rhodes Levy, was born in Cuba. Now, even though Logan himself said he was born in Havana, Cuba, it is inherent in this Levy, Golden, Rhodes, the whole clique of them, pure lies and misinformation and misleading people about all kinds of things. How could Mark say his grandfather born in Cambridge and his grandfather say him born in Cuba? And his grandfather died because he never born in Havana either. But he listed that. But he was born in Cuba. The grandfather was born in Cifuegos in Cuba, where he was hanging out down there. I don't know how old he might have been when he started hanging out with him Uncle Freddie. Him Uncle Freddie was some kind of, I don't know, doing some little things down in Cifuegos. And according to the records, Logan was there working with his Uncle Freddie. And Uncle Freddie is what? Mark great grandfather, great granduncle. And so Logan was down there, and according to the records in Cifuegos, Cuba, Logan and him great and him granduncle was down there, and him and them until the Great Migration. In the late 1800s to the early 1900s, lots of people going into the United States on various ships. And a ship logged, stopped in Havana to pick up some people who go into the United States. Logan Levy was one such. And he left Cifuegos, traveled to Havana, Cuba, and got on that ship. I was trying to remember the name of the ship. The SS Mexico. Let me be absolutely certain. I think that's what the SS Mexico. And when Logan left Cuba, based on the records, it is said that Logan was born either 1902 or 1903. We put it at 1902 for other reasons because of the age of some other relatives. So we put him at 1902, even though it says 1902, not 1903, because him never sure either him put that on the card when him landed at Ellis Island in New York. So he was about 16, 17 when he left Havana on the ship, Mexico, and went to Ellis Island. He did a lot of things when he was in America, including becoming a doctor. And eventually, he died. And he's buried in California. But Mark said his grandfather not only born in Cambridge, but buried down there. Don't have no evidence of that, but him just say it. Because him trying to pick up some Jamaican heritage. I promise you, we'll get into there. So all the things that he said has been a lie. Right? Has been a great big lie. The story of him and Sandra, Lord, we have expounded that story so much. I don't know what else to tell you regarding that story. But we're looking at another angle of the story. I will soon tell you about it. But let's look at this. When Mark married Sandra, Sandra was very heavily pregnant with their first child. His father sent him to Miami with Sandra to get married, away from the friends, which is why the Tapanaris people them up there so never knew her for a very long time. Never knew her. because Mark was hiding her. She was heavily pregnant. So pregnant that is 5 days later after the marriage, she gave birth to their first child. And when this fiasco came up, we began to ask some questions. All right, 5 days later, could we assume that they were still in the United States and maybe the child was born there? Could we assume that daddy paid for our next trip for him to go to England, go give birth to the child? Where was Mark Children's born? We don't know. We don't know. Because none of the PNP bigwigs in the party never knows a Mark have a British passport, you know. I will soon talk about that. We have to go through the small details of why this is not about whether it's legal for him to be in the parliament on a British passport or not. This is about the cover-up. This is about his extended effort to make sure we don't know. This is about the steps that he took to ensure that he keeps his British heritage. And if you had any doubt about it, go and listen to his interview this morning on TVJ. When the question was asked of him about renouncing, and he used some other words, but what was coming out of those words were, boy, I don't want to give up my heritage, you know. I'm a British heritage, I'm a father heritage, I don't want to give it up. The reason why, one of the reasons why I am convinced is not only that we can't find a birth record of him accordingly, but one of the reasons are, and I'm not going to mix up him, but I think she's still alive, Mrs. Patricia Golding, Patricia Levy Golding, daughter of the Mr. Levy, the big man that founded Jamaica Broilers, our granddaughter, not so sure, was born in England. She didn't spend much time here in her early younger days. Never spent much time here. She traveled back and forth for various things and various reasons. And we have those reasons, we have those things. We just can't go through them tonight. I want to lay the groundwork for you. It is very unlikely, during those periods, during those times, most British-born people that were living here and doing business never gave birth to their children here. None. Most of the Levy children from that era was born in England. In England. So, that's one reason that I really want to tell you that I could almost say I am absolutely certain that Mark Golding was not born in Jamaica. And it's not just the fact that the Levy women went away and gave birth to all their children in Britain. His father was here for how many years? Working in Jamaica, built a home in Jamaica, doing all kind of things that him claiming credit for in Jamaica, but he never bothered to get a Jamaican passport either. Why would he have a British passport? Mark Golding problem now is not that he might go around and give the argument that he have the right and him legal according to the pedophile. That is not the problem, as I say. The problem is the enormous steps he took to ensure that nobody found out that he has a British passport. That, you risers, is corruption. That there is corruption. That's the corruption that we talk about. The intent, the efforts that he took to hide it. So let us go through the efforts that he took to hide it. Effort number one, he never tell Omar. Omar brought him into the politics. Omar put him on the constituency executive of South St. Andrew in Tony Spalding constituency. Omar never even asked him. He don't make sense to ask him because Omar, the man never ask them things there. Yeah? Nobody never ask the big nail them things there. Because for them parents come from Britain too. But he told them ban ya. And here we are. Omar put him on the constituency executive. And he expressed an interest to continue to serve past the constituency executive. Omar never forced him. He expressed an interest. He helped Omar, did some things, helped find finances for the constituency to do some things. He never told him never once said to Omar Davis, I'm a British, you know, so I'm a British citizen. I was born in Britain and I have a British passport. He grew up, he went to Oxford, went to school, came back and forth, hanging out in Augustown, according to him, a look woman. Can't think so where he idiot. He never bothered to get a Jamaican passport. He sat on the executive for many years. He became senator in 2007. And he still never bothered to get a Jamaican passport. Then the PNP won in 2011. He got Minister of Justice in 2011. And at that point, he went and got a Jamaican passport for convenience, for the sake of the fact that he's a Minister of Justice and he now will be in the Senate passing laws, putting his signature to laws, which in my mind must have been illegal. But we can't get to that. We can't get to that. He sat there and he had that Jamaican passport. He got a diplomatic passport. He traveled on them. And then, when he had the opportunity, he was 47 years old when he got his first Jamaican passport. 47 years old. Man will walk up and talk about I and I born ya. Me a Jamaican, you know, where I say, brethren, yeah man, yeah man, where I say, where I say, yeah. I can run the thing, I can run the boy them. But that man, they are idiot. You hear me? Yeah? Come on, my Jamaican. He tried too hard. That was the problem. He tried too damn hard. So people could see through him. Well, we never look, but we could see through him. Him sat on the executive, him never tell them. He became Minister of Justice, him just go get a passport, him never tell Portia. He told no one. He said nothing. He never felt that he had the obligation to share those things because him not feel like him belong here. Him cannot share those things. This is not his country. This is not his thing. This is not his heritage. Him just playing a part. So him not feel like him having an obligation to share these things. That is corruption. And he kept it hidden from every single person except Bunting. Only Bunting knew. And if Bunting could say that he never knew, then he wouldn't come on this morning on TVJ on the phone of all the people in the world to come back him up and make him look good. He chose his closest friend because it's a conspiracy between the two of them to come on to TVJ and talk on the phone in defense of him. Me just tell me that she don't understand what him say. Because he was mumble jumbling. I know. And then the police them run him out of them conference because him gonna chat mumble jumbling again. But let's stick to the argument. When the argument came up for him to be leader of the PNP, when that came up for him to be leader of the PNP, listen to me, PNP people. Listen to me, Jamaica. Corruption of the highest level. The man was offering himself to be the leader of the largest political party in the Eastern Caribbean, the most well-known and popular political party in the Eastern Caribbean, in Africa. And he never thought that he owed anybody any obligation to simply say to you, I am a British subject. My first allegiance is to Queen Elizabeth II. He never thought because he not count way. He not count uno. Uno important in the scheme of things. He not own no obligation. He not protecting British heritage. And he must tell him nothing. Him holding me this morning suggests to me that him still feeling my own obligation. Excuse me, the throat. And there he was this morning on TVJ, telling the country that lots of people call him and tell him don't renounce his citizenship. Want to tell me if this man really, really righted? Lots of people calling him and telling him not to renounce his British citizenship because him feel like what is in our constitution gives him the right to hold a position in parliament and to become prime minister. Marky G, you couldn't be more wrong up. Because the Jamaican people not going to vote for a man with a dual citizenship. The Jamaican people not going to vote for a man that as his first allegiance is to Britain. So, him have no Jamaican passport. Then him applied for one when he was 47 years old. Had it. Don't know if he was using it. But he had the Jamaican passport. And at that point, he decided that I'm going to go ahead. You want to talk about law, you pedophile? Here's a law for you. The other thing that Mark Golding said, he said a number of things, I'm going to talk about them one. He said that when he was denying that he had a British passport, remember him denied him? He started out by denying it. Said him not have the British passport, he have a Jamaican passport. He kept lying. Lying up and lie up and lie up and lie. He said don't have a British passport, him have a Jamaican passport. When he was saying all of that, he said he went to the British High Commission and he applied for a British visa to travel on the diaspora tour. I hope them call him in and arrest him, because I believe that the British law would give them grounds to revoke his British passport because he lied on that application form. There is a section on that British visa application form which asks you if you have any allegiance to any other country or whatever, if you ever hold this. So he must have lied on more than one question of his British application form for a visa, because they would have asked him, why are you applying for a British visa when you are the holder of a legitimate British passport? So he must have lied. So I'm sure the British High Commission will want to talk to him after this done. He must have lied, because I'm going to go, I'm reaching out to the British High Commission. He must have lied on that application form. Them man that take up people visa just to lie and say, nobody never locked me up yet. People get locked up for a ganja spliff, and nobody put it point because and them take out them visa. Well, he lied. Willfully, knowingly lied on the application form for a UK visa because he had a British passport. He lied. And he got that. A prime minister of this country, you can't be a dual citizen. You can't be a citizen. And the fact that he chose not to apply for a Jamaican passport until he was 47 years old. I want to understand, particularly Uno risers who are out there, things are not try to help him. He don't care about Jamaica. Jamaica is not his land. Jamaica is not his land. I want to know if him children them born here. I could easily say that the first one wasn't born here. Probably born in Miami when they got married, because it's 5 days later she born. Or then probably flew to England to pass on him heritage to them, because his father passed on his to him. In protecting that. And him don't believe you. So him run up and down and behave, and him whole body language and him demeanor and the things him saying. Him don't give a crap about what we think. We try to tell you, this man cannot be trusted. You can't trust him. You can't trust him in Jamaica if you couldn't trust him with a simple thing as telling the truth. For over 2 years now, I run up and down about constitutional reform, and he got the opportunity again to say it. Just say it. Jesus, man, just say it. He got the opportunity when, as leader of the opposition. So after he became leader of the PNP and became leader of the opposition, and him was the one who put back the constitutional reform thing on the agenda, you had an opportunity to say, Miss Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I am putting this forward. I'd like to inform the House of Representatives that I'm a British subject. I own a British passport. I was born in Britain. He had the opportunity to say that. And he never took it. He had the opportunity to say it when he was down by South St. Andrew with Omar. He did not. He never tell Omar. He had the opportunity to sit down with Portia and tell her. He didn't. He did not. He had the opportunity to tell Peter Phillips. Well, he never tell Peter Phillips because Peter Phillips is the man them fight against and beat down and basically run out of the PMP. Him and PJ came closer. PJ Key, him got a PJ birthday party, a PJ yard, PJ a big lawyer, former prime minister. He had an opportunity to talk to somebody. Tell Smaddy. Say, I, Mark Jefferson, I'm a British citizen. I was born in Britain and I have my British passport. He took the step to go get the Jamaican passport and go apply for a British visa to fool up him very people them will travel with him to the diaspora. Corruption. I don't love talk about corruption. I think corruption is a thieving money. His intent is to deceive and to lie and to mislead. Him no want go to the diaspora with him British passport. Hiding, cover up corruption. Him no want go to the diaspora, no want go to the airport with Angie. And Lisa was on the tour. And Lisa, Anna, when she came into politics and them announced her as a candidate for Southeast, and the following week she went and gave in her green card. The following week she went and handed in her green card. Nobody ever asked her because she came to serve. She a Jamaican. Him not come here to stay. Yes, on a theme land. This is a theme place. He must make sure him have him British heritage lock up and him not give it up. So when the lady asked him this morning, would you consider renouncing? Him just fell short of saying, no, because I'm a heritage. This is me. Bakramasa. I am the slave owner. All of them are Jamaica. I'm a slave. You can talk to people. You don't listen to him or him responding to this thing. You know, so the whole of an idiot. Trust me. It's like we don't have no damn sense. Come on, Jamaican people. The man speak to it as if him saying, yeah, but you know, the country's law that broken and I'm a Commonwealth citizen and have the right and then send out the pedophile. Look of all the persons, him send out the pedophile. And then he go up on TVG and of all the persons, him carry Bunting with him. Yeah? Psyche and Trim, Abbott and Costello. Yeah? Dumb and Dumber, Sonny and Cher, him carried him. And then have the pedophile as the backup. I put out video and the paid bottom side chick, I back him up with foolishness. I'm talking about Mr. Vaz. It's private information. Private my ass. There are no private information in this matter. I will bust out every possible piece of information that we get. So him better fess up and stop with it because him still have things to say. Were you born in Jamaica, Mark Jefferson? Because we don't believe you were. No woman. None of the women in the Levy clan gave birth to any child in Jamaica during that year. That entire decade. Why you believe that nobody no go school because you go Oxford? I don't know, no? We want to know. You just show us if you were born here. Because we don't believe you did. Your daddy didn't pass on your citizenship to Britain by virtue of him being born in Britain. You're born there. And you need to come up and tell us the truth. But you're not going to tell us the truth. Because your entire existence from you came into this politics has been a big lie. So your problems are not that you can serve in this and you can serve in that. When we don't talk to Jamaican people about this, you have to go run and hide. You probably going to jump off of the cliff and go kill yourself. You probably have to go have him a suicide watch, you know. Because this is not a 9-day wonder. This is not going away. We knew that it's going to lead up to something like this. We knew. We talk about it day in and day out. You are a wicked, lying, deceptive man, Mark Jefferson Golden. grown man had ample opportunity to bring forward the truth. Even the last time he spoke about it in the parliament was in 2021 or 2022. There was at the tail end of a speech that he gave. 1 minute and was about 21 seconds of the last 1 minute and 27 seconds of that speech, where he spoke about the constitutional reform. You had 100 opportunities to come clean, to be honest with the Jamaican people, and he did not. Instead, he went on an espionage activity, set up people in the diaspora to come tear down Jamaica, attack the Jamaican government, tear down Jamaica, disgrace themselves, and put them country in a bad light on the international stage. And them things them they do, they cover up. And we talk about corruption. Don't think corruption that people thieving some money? Yeah? This is the root of corruption. Lie, deception, cover up, misleading information. That is the root of corruption.
So the question was raised. It's been raised for a while. He's finally responded. Is he a Jamaican citizen or not? Questions coming from ruling government, the JLP, as well as members of the public. Well, the leader of the opposition is here. Mark Golding joins us this morning to clear the air about this and so many other things. It's so good to have you with us this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, ladies. Pleasure to be with you.
Let me hear how you are feeling in this moment, given what has happened within the last day.
Yeah, well, this kind of firestorm that has arisen in the last 2 days, really I see as a distraction from the issues that are confronting the country now. The issues relating to the constitutional reform process, which has been a process which many people feel has not been inclusive, has not been participatory, and has left a lot of people feeling frustrated and excluded. Plus, the cost of living issues facing Jamaicans, the crime rate, and the lack of hope in our people. So it's not surprising to me that our political competitors are seeking to generate distractions around these issues. And I think that's what this is. So yes, I'm a born Jamaican. I was born at University Hospital, 1965. I grew up in Jamaica. I went to school here, Mona Prep, Campion College. I studied abroad. And I came back right after, went to Norman Manley Law School and did 2 years there. Got a Commonwealth Scholarship, did a master's degree in law in the UK, came back right after, and I've never worked anywhere other than Jamaica. So my entire working life and my childhood were here. So yeah, I'm a born Jamaican. I do have British citizenship as well, by descent. My father came to Jamaica in 1953 from the UK, and he spent the rest of his career and died here. He's buried on Slipe Road. So, you know, he was a person who gave a lot to this country. Started the Mona Rehab Center. He was in charge of the medical response to the polio epidemic in the 1950s. Yeah. The Kendall train crash, he was sent there to deal with the aftermath of that terrible incident and establish a National Road Safety Council, Hope Valley Experimental School, all of these things. My mother was a career public servant. She was one of the first 3 ladies, I believe, to join the civil service in Jamaica in an administrative position. And later on, after she got married and had children, she moved to the rehab center and spent the rest of her career there. So I'm very committed to Jamaica fully. You know, my entire life is about Jamaica. And so this whole thing is a bit peculiar. Truth is, the constitution of the country from 1962 to now allows, in fact, requires Commonwealth citizenship to be eligible to be in our parliament. The UK and Jamaica are both part of the Commonwealth. So my presence in the parliament is in accordance with the constitution, is lawful, and that's why I've never really thought of this as a big issue.
I think that's where the confusion rests, Mark Golding, because we have heard people say, oh, but the PNP has called for other people to denounce their citizenship. Right. But you're saying the UK is a Commonwealth, but not the US. Correct.
So the Commonwealth are nations who were largely former colonies of the UK, but the US is not included in that. They have never been a member of the Commonwealth. So There was an instance in 2007 when a number of candidates were, in fact, not eligible to be in Parliament because they had citizenship from countries that were not in the Commonwealth. And those matters were taken to court, and the court made its ruling.
They were booted from Parliament. They had to come back in.
They had to by-elections
right?
that were held,
Okay.
correct? Some of them, I think they renounced their citizenship in
Right.
order to be eligible.
Right.
And that happened. But there are a number of people in Parliament who are Commonwealth citizens. I'm not the only one. So, you know, I don't see why this is a big issue, but it's obviously being used as a way of trying to attack me personally.
So you don't think there's any validation at all to the issue? Because you mentioned the issue of the CCJ and constitutional reform, which is another area where there's deadlock that I want to ask you about. But one of your statements is that the CCJ, being Jamaica's final appellate court, it can be a case where we have 1 foot, this is your direct quote, 1 foot in, 1 foot out of King Charles's yard.
Right.
Is there a parallel between that statement and what folks are saying now about your dual citizenship? And so is it therefore fair for you to categorize it as a mere distraction?
1 foot in and 1 foot out refers to the idea of leaving the monarchy but not leaving it. In other words, Jamaica becoming a republic, but still having as one of our institutions of government at the highest level, the Privy Council, which is the King's Court. When the King, when you take a case to the Privy Council and the order is made by the court there, it's made in the King's name. And I'm saying, and the PNP has been saying for decades, let's fully decolonize, stand up on our own 2 feet as a proud nation, and move forward together. So in terms of the dual citizenship rule, the Constitution allows, as I've said, Commonwealth citizens to be in the Parliament. And I've always regarded it as important to comply with the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica. So we're going through a process of reform now. If this matter is debated, and the Jamaican people feel strongly that the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, as 2 individuals, should not have dual citizenship, I would take the necessary steps to relinquish that status, you know. But as it stands now...
But if folks ask you why wait until that time? Because the notion that the PM raised yesterday is a matter of the ultimate executive leader not being perceived, well, not the Constitution says, but, you know, perception, being oftentimes the reality and the lens through which people view things, the perception of split loyalties, the perception of having 2 masters. The PM said, you know, be our parachute if anything goes wrong. You know, it needs to be clear that you have no other loyalty.
Well, first of all, the PM is not really in a position to say that because the PM has sworn allegiance to the King. In 2021, he joined the King's Privy Council voluntarily and would have had to swear an oath or affirm an oath of loyalty to the King. That was a couple of years before he suddenly came on the train about decolonization and becoming a republic. So he's a flip-flopper on this issue. In my case, my life is one of service to the people of Jamaica. Certainly in the latter part of my life. Before that, I was in the private sector. But since 2007, when I became a senator, and more importantly, since 2012, when I became part of the government as Minister of Justice and now as Leader of the Opposition, my life is one of service. And I think it's unequivocal that my commitment to Jamaica cannot be questioned. And indeed, this has never arisen in the past, you know, where we've had people in Parliament who've had dual citizenship because they're Commonwealth citizens, and the question of their loyalty to the country has never been questioned. So, from my standpoint, I think it shouldn't be a situation where the Prime Minister dictates what the Constitution should say. And he can't do that. You know, it's a question of dialogue, consultation, and let us discuss the issue. And if whatever comes out of that process, I will abide by. But as far as I'm concerned, it's part of who I am. You know, being my father's son is who I am. You know, Barack Obama was the son of a Kenyan. He didn't have to go through any procedure to renounce his Kenyanship. You know, he became the president of the United States. Similarly, I'm born here, I grew here. Yes, I have this status by virtue of who my father was. But why should I be required when the law doesn't and the Constitution doesn't require it to change my status? Nobody else has ever been asked to do that.
Do you have a Jamaican passport, Margolin? And when you travel to the UK, do you use your UK citizenship or do you go and get a visa like the rest of us?
I travel on a Jamaican passport whenever I travel nowadays. Since I came into government in 2012, I decided I was not going to use the UK passport, and I've maintained that. I have a diplomatic passport as a minister, and then as a leader of the opposition, I got one again. I have a UK visa in my Jamaican diplomatic passport. I was in the UK 2 years ago for a tour. I went up on that visa. I had to apply for it. I had to go to the office here and go through all the biometrics like everybody else and what have you. So I have a US visa in my Jamaican passport. I have a 10-year visa as well, and in my diplomatic passport. So I travel on my Jamaican. And in fact, I'm not intending to renew my UK passport. It expires this year. I don't use it. I haven't been using it for a long time. And, I have no need for it, and I plan to give it up. So that's where I stand on that issue.
It's hard to speak in hypotheticals. I'm just wondering, it's hard to speak in hypotheticals, but were the shoe on the other foot? If this were the Prime Minister who was in this situation, how do you think you would view it?
I don't know. I'm not in. I don't want to speculate on that.
But would you be able to understand the concerns?
I believe in the rule of law.
Yeah.
And I think that it's unreasonable to expect people to do things that are contrary to their legal rights. Now, this is something I'm going to pray on, and I'm going to continue to reflect on. But from my standpoint, I feel it's an imposition by him to be demanding that I do something which the Constitution doesn't require and which there's been no public debate about. I get a lot of people telling me, don't give it up. A lot of members of the public saying, don't succumb to this kind of pressure, which is politically motivated. Your status is in accordance with the Constitution. Your father was a person my father got the Order of Jamaica. It's the highest honor that a non-Jamaican can get. He was loved in this country, and he served this country well, and I feel proud of him, and the heritage I got from him is part of who I am. So, it's a big deal for me to be told that, notwithstanding that the law says and the Constitution says my status is legitimate and fine, I must give up that part of.
Lots are telling you do. Lots are telling you don't.
Other people, but if it's
you too. Others advising you to give it up?
I would say a few people, like people in the papers and so on, the commentators and what have you. And I said, I'm going to continue, because to me, the passport is really the only issue. I never applied for British citizenship, I've never signed any application form for it. I got a passport when I was a little child. My dad arranged that. And, over the years, I've continued to have it. But I don't use it now. And for me, it was a travel document that was convenient. I'm quite willing to give it up because I haven't been using it, as I've said, for many years now. And this whole question of renouncing, that status is something I've never considered before. And I'm going to think about it. But my initial position on it is I think it's an unreasonable request, given the current constitution that we have. But, it's something that I'm prepared to consider going forward. And whatever, certainly, if we go through the constitutional reform process and the people of Jamaica decide, it's ironic in a way, because I was the one advocated that we should expand who can be in Parliament to not just Commonwealth citizens, but all Jamaican citizens.
This is Mark Golding. I'm at the Norman Manley International Airport, heading your way. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at La Veranda in Plantation, 6:30, where we'll have a good discussion about matters of interest concerning our beloved Jamaica. So I'll see you then. On love.
A big sound, I play a big tune.
Jah holy Emmanuel, I woy. Jah Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head I listen, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know war, not devil philosophy. Not until color of a man's skin is abnormal, significant well to the color of his eye. Remember all the war done in 1935.
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at